Yeah, it's Zek777, and I am out here in the heart of nature, and I'm feeling good today, chat. I'm feeling very grateful. I'm feeling very appreciative today. This is my second log, and I wanted to talk to you guys about what happened to my guitar club. And, this also goes, towards the main channel too. But yeah, what happened with Guitar Club? What happened was, back in my last video, like I said previously, I was actively dimming my light for someone who didn't care, right? I was actively dimming my light for someone who didn't care. And since I was actively dimming my light, I wasn't appreciating myself at all. And lots of other things that was in front of me, the peers around me and everything. I was only focused on that person. I was only focused on that person. And to be honest, I'm gonna be quite vulnerable. I don't give a fuck. But that person, I practically wanted them to be my caretaker. I was selfish. I was very selfish. Very, very, very selfish. And it was my drug type shit. I'm pretty sure we all had that one person that we just wanted to cling on to, but it just wasn't healthy to, So what happened with my guitar club was this. Since me and my ex had broke up in April of 2025, right? Yeah, it was April of 2020, I think 2024. No, I take that back. Memory a bit messed up. But it was April of 2025, right? So when our relationship had ended, I was so stuck. I thought everything was cool, I was giving that person my all. I was giving that person, the very essence of me, which I will never do again. I will never do that again. And, they led me on, and, I put all my eggs in one basket, for them. I put everything into them, and they just disappointed the fuck out of me. They disappointed, my soul, and it drove me crazy, it really pissed me off. How can this person say they love me and they turn around and they just, they fucking, they shit on you. They stomp your heart in, It fucking hurts. But since that had happened, I let them determine my value. I remember one time I was talking to one of my acquaintances' friends, and she had sent me a screenshot of what she had said. And to put it simply, she was just telling her that I found someone better. I don't really like him anymore. I'm just gonna do fuck shit to him so he can just leave me the fuck alone. And she also said I don't see no value in him no more either. When I had seen that really crushed me. It hurt. It hurt to see that. So within that, I was doing a lot of shit that I wasn't supposed to be doing, just for the sake of them, just for their attention, just to get a reaction out of them, right? Just for the sake of being up under them, for one last time, But it didn't work out. And as the months went by, and during that summer of 2025, I was hurt. And I wasn't doing as much. Like I said, I wasn't doing as much the things that I loved, and I was being very performative, just for them. And my performative actions only increased and got worse, to say. And I wasn't realizing it until, you know, I had that cold reality check, you know, that slap in the face, you know. But what happened is that this is how it happened. When school had started up for my senior year, like I said, I was still fucking heartbroken. I fucking hated school. And, you know, I don't like school all like that in the first place. I'm not gonna say fuck school. I'm not gonna say, oh, screw education. No, people need school. People need school. You know, I personally, you know, I had a love and hate relationship with school, right? So when my senior year had started, I was bitter. I fucking hated everyone. I like I said, I fucking hated everyone. I shut off my energy. I wasn't, you know, this vibrant person that I made myself out to be as who I, you know, used to be, right? I shut my energy off, and I shut my friends off too. I literally pushed my friends away. I didn't want to be around nobody but her. Nobody but her. And that it like I said, it only got worse. And the thing is, like I said, I wasn't focused on myself. I was just worrying about them 24/7. And I was just worried about them 24/7. But I'll say that when my senior year had started, I was, like I said, I shut my energy off. I didn't want to be around fucking nobody, bro. Like, I hated, like, the smallest inconvenience, bro. Like, I fucking hated the teachers sometimes, man. I was just irritated as shit, bro. Like, I did not want to be around no one. And what made it, you know, worse for me in that moment at the time was that, you know, my homeboy, you know, he had gotten out of school early, or, like, you know, graduated early, so he didn't have to be in the school, like, at all, unless, like, it was something immediate, right? So I was still stuck in school. While he had, like, early dismissal type shit, whatever the fuck. Or, yeah, he had, like, early dismissal type shit, and then got to a point where he didn't even have to go in anymore, right? And I was like, fuck. Not only that I'm feeling heartbroken, you know, and I lost someone that I really loved, you know, and thought we could, you know, make things work out and cling to, but, you know, I also lost, you know, my homeboy. He was like my emotional anchor up in there, you know, he was that nigga for real. But when he wasn't in the school no more, that was like the last straw for me. I didn't want to be around nobody no more. I was alone. Even though I wasn't alone, I shut myself out to be alone. I shut myself out to be alone. I did not want to be around nobody but them. So when he had left, that was like the straw that broke the camel's back for me. So when he had left, I was so angry. I was hella angry at the time. I was just not trying to pay attention. I wasn't rocking with anything anymore. So I thought I was making a smart decision, but my soul was telling me no. Even other people around me were surprised and stuff like that. But, you know, deep down, you know, my soul already knew the consequences of that action. And the thing is that I wanted to get out of school early. I didn't want to be around, I didn't want to be around nobody. I got out of school early. And I took this program where I'll have to go in early, do some shit, and then I can just go home and, like, the rest of the day is mine, right? You know, I thought I had a plan with that, you know? I was like, okay, I can go into school early for a little bit, leave, and, you know, look for a job type shit, where the hell. You know, I thought I had everything planned out, but I didn't. I thought I had everything planned out, but I didn't. So even my father, you know, shout out to my father, but even my father knew that wasn't a good decision. But he decided to go along with it because it was my decision. I was begging him that I did not want to be in fucking school no more. And he just decided to let me go and butt my head, you know, until I go the right direction type shit. But I got out of school early, and this is where, you know, shit slowly started to go downhill. Since I was in school, I had guitar club every Monday. That gave me a chance to, you know, talk about the things that I wanted to talk about on my channel, have fun with my friends, and jam out, right? But since that I got out of school early, it was hard to get to guitar club. You know, my mom, you know, no diss to my mother, not at all, no diss to my mother. But since I wasn't in guitar club, well, not in guitar club, but since I wasn't in the school no more, my mom didn't really see a point on me going to guitar club. Like, what's the point of you going if you're not even, you know, there? But I'm telling her, like, you know, there is a point in me going, you know, it's just one day, you know. But how to put it? It was just one day. So I begged her sometimes, like could I possibly go? It was just difficult, you know. I'm a bit scatterbrained. I'm not scatterbrained, but I'm a bit scatterbrained. Let me say that. I'm a little bit scatterbrained. I'm trying to get back to focus. But, you know, my mom didn't see a point in me going, and, you know, me and her used to butt heads just a little bit about the topic, and it made it hard for me to get to guitar club in the first place, since, you know, I wasn't in school, you know, on a regular basis anymore, right? And since that was going on, I was also in my room a lot, 24/7. And this is where, you know, like I said, this is where it gets more darker for me. Since I was in my room a lot, 24/7, in my head a lot, 24/7, I was just thinking about that one person. And, you know, I pretty much locked myself in a cage, hoping, you know, they'll get the key and, you know, free me from my torment, you know, hoping that they would come and save me, right? But, you know, that's not the case. You know, you can only save yourself. No one is coming to save you. You can only save you from yourself, right? That's true. You can only save you from yourself. So, I pretty much locked myself in the cage. And, you know, my friends will sometimes hit me up like, hey, you going to guitar club this week? I'm like, yeah, I'm going. And I just wouldn't go because I wouldn't have a ride or shit like that. Or, you know, it was, like I said, since I didn't go to school on a regular basis anymore, I didn't think, like, how the hell am I going to get, you know, to guitar club and, you know, and find a way back home type shit, right? So there were just times where I just wasn't, there were just times that I didn't go, and I, you know, couldn't have to. You know, I pretty much locked myself in a cage and, you know, was hoping that they will come back and save me, you know, come around and help me, right? That didn't work out for anything. I might get up real quick, bro. But the thing is that I was hoping that they will come and save me from my torment and being in my mind. I wanted them to, you know, look at the damage they've caused, look at the damage they've done to me and stuff like that, because I was just so hurt, right? So it got to a point where I was in my head 24/7. My music, I barely made music, and that pink guitar, I have a different guitar right now. It's a red ass guitar. It's a sweet ass guitar with a Sukina sticker on it. But my pink guitar got heavy, and what do I mean by it got heavy was that I I saw playing as a chore. Everything that I loved to do and saw, I just seen it as a chore. It wasn't fun anymore. It wasn't fun anymore. And my guitar got heavy. I didn't want to play it. And when I did go to guitar club, you know, and I would interact with my friends and stuff like that, I would feel like a fucking idiot. I would feel like a fucking idiot that all my friends and peers, you know, are progressing with their guitars and shit, and then it's just me playing the same bullshit, you know, playing the same bullshit. And pretty much since I had left home, since I had pretty much left school, you know, I pretty much, you know, I cut the amp off in my guitar club. Pretty much, I cut my amp off. It was just static. Nothing was playing. It was just static at that point. And I didn't realize, you know, until like months, until like weeks before graduation. That's crazy. I didn't realize till weeks before graduation that the choice that I made actually affected me in a very, 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 very negative way. And since I had did that, it only made me feel worse inside. It only made me feel worse inside. It only made me feel horrible, and it only made me feel like quitting. It only made me feel like giving up even more, right? And like I said, I was just so wrapped around this person. I gave up on everything. I was doing shit just for the sake of them. I was being very performative out of them. I wasn't practicing like how I should was. I was being very performative. Very performative. Don't be performative. Don't. I was being very performative for this girl. I was being very performative for this girl. And I'm very emotional. I can admit that. I love on a deeper level. I don't love on a surface level. I really, you know, fall in love, you know, with the person's soul and who they are, and see, you know, how can I change about them, or, you know, change something about myself, right? And like I said, this ain't no video to, you know, talk shit to them or anything like that. No, not at all. This is a video about me. This is a video about my actions and what have happened. What had happened and so on. So this is where, you know, things got, I'll say, like, when my mind really started to really link to them, you know, like very like attached, like a parasite in a way. So I'm going to tell you this now. If you're someone who's experiencing a breakup or going through a breakup, and you and your partner or ex, whoever, didn't end on good terms, and they try to come back, it's not because they miss you. It's not, no, bro. No, because it's not because they miss you. It's something, it's just, they come back just so they can fill a void that the fucking new guy or new girl couldn't fucking fulfill. Because they fucked up, thinking that, you know, them leaving would be a better option, and they thought them leaving would be a better option, and finding someone new and thinking, you know, they'll ride off into the sunset. No, that's not gonna work. It's not gonna work. It's not gonna work that way. You know, she had karma she had to pay, and I had karma that I had to pay too. You know, so when that had happened, you know, she came back. You know, she came back, and it wasn't for good reason. No, fuck no, it wasn't for good reason. It was not for good reason. And then when I had let them back into my life, they just used me. And deep down, I couldn't afford being used. I wanted to be loved. I wanted to be cared for. I did not want to just be used, you know, for sex. To be honest, I didn't know. I did not want that. And I couldn't deal with that. I couldn't sit with that. I couldn't pull the friends with benefits bullshit ass card. No, I couldn't. I loved them too much. I loved them too fucking much to even do that, bro. No, just no. So after that had happened, after I was intimate with them for like the last time, and I thought, look, if you think, being intimate with that person for one last time will bring you closure or anything, it's not. No, it's just only gonna deepen your wounds. It's only gonna deepen your wounds, okay? It is only gonna deepen your wounds, right? So after we had our little, quarrel, I guess, I had to cut her off. I didn't fucking want to. I had to cut her off. And even after I cut her off, I was still obsessed over her. I still wanted her. I still wanted her to look at me. I still wanted her to show what she did, and I still wanted her to be up under me. I was very, very, very selfish. And when it got to the near end of the school year, I was realizing what I did. I was realizing that I literally, it was that slow realization at months before graduation or weeks before graduation, and then after I graduated, it really hit. I spent my senior year in my room, worried about someone who didn't have a thought about me until shit hit the fan for them, right? And I realized, wow, I wasted so much time. I wasted so much potential. I could have made more memories with these people. I could have had more experiences. I could have learned more knowledge from these people or these teachers and whatnot. I stripped a lot of things from me. I stripped my guitar club from me. And since I stripped my guitar club for me, I pretty much stripped away my content too. And that same manner, just for that person. Just for one person. One fucking person. And that was a gut punch, a hard pill to swallow, and a slap in the face, pretty much. And like I said, my guitar, it felt heavy. It felt like a chore. And another thing that really, kind of dimmed, maybe even dim my light even more, or made me feel I wouldn't say dim my light. It just destroyed my ambition. I remember one time I had texted my ex to see if she can possibly take me to a guitar club. I didn't have a ride and shit, and she was like, fine, that's cool, I can do that for you. Whoop-de-whoop, fuck ass mosquito. I fucking hate mosquitoes. Sorry about that. But she was like, yeah, I can do that for you, whoop-de-whoop. And I'm like, okay, cool. And she had asked me if I was playing in a talent show. And I was like, no. Now, I have originally wanted to play in a talent show, but I wasn't putting in the work. I wasn't practicing. I wasn't studying up more music, more guitar lessons or skills. I wasn't doing nothing of that, And I was like, no, I'm not participating in the talent show this year, no. And she had booed me. She was like, boo. And that killed my ambition. That literally killed my ambition. I didn't want to fucking play guitar anymore. I didn't want to do shit anymore. That was pretty much a whole ass dream stealer for me. I didn't want to do shit anymore. I did not want to do anything anymore. But not after, but since when it was weeks before graduation, my eyes were starting to open up. My eyes was like, wow, I wasted so much time. I'm trying to get back. I wasted so much time trying to become a person that I'm not, for that person. And I wasn't taking myself serious too. I was trying to become a person that I wasn't. I was chasing someone and I wasn't taking myself serious. No, I was not taking myself serious whatsoever. I was not. I can admit that. And this is practically a long video. I'm trying to wrap it up, but I'm letting you guys know that weeks before, graduation, I was waking up, I was realizing, the path that I took was not the right path. I took a wrong path. I apologize for that, and I am sorry for those that I have disappointed. I am sorry for my peers that I just, I pretty much left in the background, and I'm pretty sure you guys were, okay and fine, but I realized, people move on, life goes on. You can sit still in your mind and think time is frozen. No, that sun's still gonna fucking rise. That moon's still gonna rise. That sun's still gonna set. That moon's still gonna set, right? It's gonna keep fucking going. Even if you die, life gonna keep fucking going. So after weeks before my graduation, I was realizing the path that I took was not the right path. It was a very selfish path. And that path was not for me. I wasn't supposed to take that path. And what I mean earlier is that when my soul felt it, is that, how in video games, it be like those Telltale games be like, if you take this action, you will have consequences, that's how it felt type shit. So when I had made that decision, and I was telling everyone like, I'm leaving, I won't be here, for long and shit like that, people were surprised, they was like, damn, Charlie, you're leaving? And I was like, yeah, I'm not gonna be in here no more. Like, I'm not really rocking it. Like I said, I cut off my energy. I fucking hated, I just fucking hated being at school. Not that I'm saying I hated everyone there, but I just cut off my energy. I didn't want to participate in nothing. I hated everything because I didn't have that one person beside me. That was selfish as fuck. Very selfish. And let's speed this up. Weeks before my graduation, I woke up and I was like, fuck, let me actually get off my ass and try to do as much as I can, right? Even if it was just something small or little. So I started taking the bus on one Monday. And then I realized, I was like, damn, I could at least done this. I could at least done that. I can barely see all right, my phone had ran out of storage and I could barely see myself outside. I think my phone was like getting like hot and stuff. But to wrap this up, weeks before my graduation, my friend, I'm gonna call him Comet. Comet was like, yo, it was a day before our graduation, so like it was kind of like a hangout of, of all the seniors and stuff like that. So Comet was like, and he came to my crib and he was like, yo, bro, we should bring our guitars. And I was like, why? I'm like, I don't even have an amp on me right now. And he was like, bro, just bring it, bro. And he's like, for aura type stuff. And I was like, all right, then bet that we can do that. And the thing is, it had also opened my eyes to be more vibrant, be more positive, right? Him saying that really, it pulled me back in. It pulled me back in to be creative. It pulled me back in to step back into my energy. And while we had got there, you know, all the seniors were there and stuff like that. You know, of course, I had seen her, you know, and even on that day, you know, I couldn't keep my eyes off them, you know, like you know how like there's rows, you know, there's rows when people graduate and stuff like that. I believe she was like in the I think the seventh or sixth row or something like that, and I was like in the ninth row, and you know I just couldn't keep my eyes off them, but with I couldn't keep my eyes off them, but before that, before we had you know went to the church and you know to do all that, I had asked him, I was like, yo bro, would you mind switching guitars, like this pink one is cool, but you know, I really like that red one. You know, this one right here. You know, I play with my guitar much more than I ever did, and I'm having fun. I'm actually having fun with my guitar. I'm not seeing it as a chore no more. It's light. It's easy to play. Like I'm feeling. Oh shit! But I'm feeling happy with myself. Right? And he's a great homeboy of mine, and he was like, oh bet we can trade, say less. I was like, oh bet that. And since then I've been playing my guitar much more recently. I've been diving back into that fun, and I'm trying to get to a point where my guitar is a necessity. I don't want to see it as a chore. I don't want to see it as, you know, something that I have to do. I want to see it as something, a part of me, and something fun, right? And that's how like my senior year went, you know. Plus Guitar Club, I literally stripped my whole senior year away from me for one person. And for anyone out there, you know, who's going through a breakup, or you're in your head a lot, and you know you just really want that person back, you just really want them, I am telling you this now. From experience, and I'm trying to pass on this knowledge. Do not go back to them. Do not go back to them. It will only make things worse. It will only make your wounds deeper. It will only take longer for you to heal. Do not go back. Do not go back. Do not go back. Don't look forward to their karma. Don't look forward to their punishment. No, don't. Only focus on you. Only focus on you. Focus only on you. And as of today, I'm learning something new. So today I'm learning about laws of karma. I'm not gonna speak too deep. I'm not gonna speak on it. But I'm learning laws of karma. And your brain is a magnet, and I feel my brain, you know, magnating that energy that I want to be around, you know. So I'm letting you guys know this, that do not go back to someone who did not appreciate your heart. Do not go back to someone who do not respect you, okay? It will only make things worse for you. It will only make you devalue yourself. It will only make you feel that you are not enough. You are enough. You have God lying within you, or a goddess lying within you. You have power within you. And every day, like I said, every day I'm getting up and I'm showing up for myself. This morning, I didn't feel like getting up. My alarm clock went off. I immediately wanted to take my ass to sleep. But no, I pushed through. I got my ass up. I went on that fucking walk. And then after I got on my walk, I went to go jog. And then I went to go charge for a little bit. And then after that, I was feeling good. I was like, okay, I'm about to go, you know, study some karma laws for a little bit. And then after that, I went out and sunbathed for an hour type shit. So take care of yourself. take care of yourself and take yourself serious. This is not some process that's going to take a week or a month or 2 months. No, I'm not worried about the destination anymore. I'm in it for the journey. I'm in it for the journey. I'm in it for the creation, and I'm in it for the love of the game and the love of myself. And I think that's all what I have to say for this video. Love yourself and appreciate what's around you. Appreciate the tools in front of you, okay? Zek777 signing off.